Welcome to Hidden Crown, a story of courage, love, and secrets. Brought to you by Tales and Tastes of Africa with Maurine. In the heart of Africa lay the Kingdom of Lumbani, a land of vibrant colors, rolling hills, lush fields, and grand palaces adorned with gold and intricate carvings. The kingdom was ruled by King Oba, a wise but aging monarch who worried about the future of his heir, Prince Ezekiel. Ezekiel was young, strong, and handsome. But he was also proud and headstrong. He believed that being royal gave him the right to command respect, no matter how he treated others. Every day, he rode his horse through the streets, ignoring the villagers who bowed in fear or frustration. His advisors often whispered concerns, but Ezekiel paid little attention. In the village of Kiburi, a young girl named Tari lived a simple life. She was spirited, clever, and hardworking. By day, she tended the small farm that fed her family. By night, she read old stories about the royal family, captivated by tales of bravery, mystery, and destiny. She never imagined that her own past was intertwined with those stories. The festival of Lumbani one morning, the palace announced a grand festival to celebrate the king's anniversary. Villagers were invited to showcase their crafts, songs, and dances. Bright banners fluttered in the wind, children laughed and danced, and the aroma of roasted maize filled the air. Tari decided to attend with her friends, carrying her basket of fresh vegetables, handmade cloth, and small trinkets crafted by the villagers. The festival was lively, filled with music, laughter, and the bustle of preparations. It was here that she first caught the attention of Prince Ezekiel. He noticed her confidence and grace. She walked among the guests, smiling and chatting with everyone, unafraid of his royal status. He was intrigued. Why was she so unbothered by him? Tari's talents were soon recognized, and she was invited to work in the palace during the festival. Her tasks were simple: organize decorations, assist with food, and help visiting guests. But it was enough to place her in close contact with Prince Ezekiel. At first, Ezekiel acted the way he always did. He was dismissive. "Be careful, girl. That is not how things are done in the palace," he said sharply. Tari replied with calm wit, "Perhaps, Your Highness, there is more than one way to do things correctly." Ezekiel blinked, surprised. She was not afraid. She was clever. For the first time, he found himself curious about someone outside his usual circle. Shadows and secrets. Meanwhile, a shadow watched from afar. Madame Yelena, the king's advisor, was ambitious and cunning. She had long craved power and control over the kingdom. She noticed Tari's intelligence and spirit, and instantly felt threatened. She could ruin everything, Madame Yelena whispered to herself, her eyes narrowing. If the princess's blood is still alive, I must eliminate any chance of her taking the throne. Tari, oblivious to the danger, continued to help in the palace. She befriended Kofi, a loyal young guard with a kind heart. Kofi admired her bravery and intelligence, though he kept his feelings hidden, choosing instead to protect her quietly. Ezekiel, observing Tari day by day, began to notice her small acts of kindness, helping the kitchen staff, calming frightened children, and even mediating disputes among the palace servants. Slowly, the prince's heart softened, and he realized that pride and arrogance were not the traits of a true leader. The discovery. One evening, Tari explored the palace library. Hidden behind a stack of old scrolls, she found a dusty chest. Her fingers trembled as she opened it. Inside were letters, journals, and official documents. As she read, her heart raced. She discovered the truth about her past. Her mother had been a queen from a neighboring kingdom. Someone from her mother's own kingdom had plotted against her, forcing her to flee. She had come to King Oba's palace seeking safety and alliance. Madame Yelena had seen an opportunity and orchestrated her exile, leaving behind these crucial documents. Tari spent the next days poring over the letters. She realized that she was royalty, but from another kingdom, not Lumbani, and therefore not related to Ezekiel. She had her own people, her own responsibilities, and her own destiny. "Though my mother was betrayed and forced into exile, my life is mine to reclaim," Tari whispered. "And my heart is free to choose whom I love." Growing bonds. As Tari navigated palace life with her newfound knowledge, she and Ezekiel spent more time together. He noticed her courage, wisdom, and compassion. Tari admired Ezekiel's willingness to change, learning humility and respect. Their shared experiences slowly transformed admiration into deep affection. "You think too little of yourself, Prince Ezekiel," Tari said one evening as they walked through the palace gardens. "And you think too much of me," Ezekiel replied, smiling. "Yet, somehow, you make me want to be better." The coup. As Tari adjusted to her royal heritage, Madame Yelena launched a coup, attempting to seize the throne while King Oba was away. Guards rushed through the palace halls, panic spreading like wildfire. Ezekiel, Tari, and Kofi joined forces to defend the kingdom. Tari's knowledge of the palace helped them avoid traps and ambushes. Together, they devised clever strategies to confront Madame Yelena and her followers. "You could have been hurt," Ezekiel said, gripping her hand tightly. "I am stronger than I look," Tari replied with a determined smile. In a dramatic confrontation, they exposed Madame Yelena's schemes, securing the safety of the king and the kingdom. The people celebrated not only the victory but also the courage and unity of those who defended Lumbani. Reclaiming her kingdom after the coup, Tari journeyed to her mother's kingdom. She was welcomed with awe and respect by her people, who had long awaited her return. With wisdom, courage, and the support of loyal advisors, she restored justice, reunited with her family, and reclaimed her rightful place as a princess. This journey proved her leadership and independence. She had earned the respect of her people, establishing herself as a true and capable ruler in her own right. Return and marriage. With her kingdom restored, Tari returned to Lumbani. She reunited with Ezekiel, whose admiration and love had only grown during her absence. Their relationship was now built on mutual respect, shared experiences, and true understanding. The wedding of Tari and Ezekiel was a grand celebration, uniting two kingdoms not only in love but in diplomacy and alliance. Villagers, nobles, and guards gathered to witness the union of a brave princess and a wise prince. Bright banners waved, music filled the air, and the palace gardens glowed in the golden light of sunset. As they exchanged vows, the kingdoms rejoiced at the dawn of a new era. "You've taught me so much," Ezekiel whispered as he held her hand. "And you've shown me who I can truly be," Tari replied softly, her eyes shining. And so, Tari and Ezekiel's story ended not in separation or mystery, but in marriage, a promise of courage, justice, and love for both kingdoms. Thank you for watching Hidden Crown. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Tales and Tastes of Africa with Maurine for more tales of adventure, courage, and love.